Oh, guys, we were just having such a hilarious racist discussion, but you missed it. It was right before the podcast. Welcome, by the way. We got another double dusted discussion going down. Taylor, my man, coming through.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. And we got Big Lynch on the ones and twos.
What up?
On the ones and twos.
And we got billionaires
producer.
out here.
Big billionaire energy yesterday or this week, man.
Dude, huge billionaire energy and huge tit energy. That Jeff Bezos brought that woman of the night to the inauguration.
Do you guys know
wearing
who
a
that?
bra.
Do you know her lore? Like, you know her background? Because she was
No idea.
No, we don't know horror lore. Sorry, Lynch.
Yo, you seem
we're
like
not caught up on horror lore. Well, I am actually.
Yeah, you're super caught up. That's for sure. Open your Instagram right now.
I'll be honest, I'm a little behind. Okay.
She was married to like a big deal agent in Hollywood, like a guy, like one of the biggest agents in Hollywood, and Bezos was like, "No, I'm gonna take
Asians
that."
in Hollywood.
No, I think his name was Patrick. Let's see.
They're gonna dox him. I don't know if you could do that.
Well, whatever he is,
don't dox a Jew. Don't dox a Jew in the first 2 minutes of the podcast.
Just imagine.
That'd be
he was a big deal, and his wife just got taken by Bezos. Bezos was like, this guy probably imagine like $50 million, and then Bezos was like, I have 300 billion. Come with me.
Yeah, but that's like if I went to Jersey Mike's, where if you get a large sandwich, it's 18 inches, and some guy was like, I have 36,000 inches. Like, I like that's cool, but like this is a good meal. This is a lot. When I'm done this, I'm gonna be sick.
You're tripping.
I'm gonna be sick. I don't need 36,000 inches of sandwich.
You're tripping.
Like 18 is plentiful.
That's a very philosophic way to look at it. Yeah. Enough is as good as a feast.
Like, you're happy with 50 mil, right, Taylor?
I'd be so happy with 50 million. I would never, like, I can't imagine having that amount of money and being like, now I'm going to get into politics. It's like, no, I'm doing ridiculous. I'm doing absurd shit on a compound, doing whatever I want. I'm like putting a hockey rink in my backyard. Anything. There's no way I could be bothered to give a fuck about anything outside of my own, like, fun house if I had $50 million.
I'm not doing anything, dude.
No, I'm going to get
anything.
fat as shit.
Jollymaxxing. Are you still Jollymaxxing?
I've had to pump the brakes on Jollymaxxing because I was gaining weight a lot in the lead up to Christmas. Lynch, I went through a little phase where, like, it started the way like a drug relapse would, where I was driving around doing errands like Christmas shopping, and was like in a gas station. I was walking to the Diet Cokes, and I passed like a quart of whole milk, and I was like, I'm craving some whole milk. I haven't had milk in ages. And so I got a quart of whole milk, and I'm like driving around town, like, just raw dog, it's nice and cold out. I'm drinking a whole quart of milk. And then for like literally, I drank the whole quart of whole milk, which is 620 calories. And like nice fat calories. Nice fat calories. And I was like lying to myself. I'm like, look, there's protein in here.
I love that calculation. Yeah. We're like, I worked out 2 days ago. How much protein is within this jelly?
Just total fat guy math. And I think I had a 10-day streak where I drank at least a quart of whole milk every day. And then I did a little mental math where it's like, all right, that was 6,000 calories. And I know there was at least one day in there at my grandma's house where I drank a whole half gallon of this like glass bottle milk over the course of the day because she made a giant chocolate sheet cake. And so every time I went to get a piece of sheet cake, I'm gonna also have some milk with it. Obviously,
of course, you're not a fucking idiot.
And like my
were you gonna have water?
My pants were getting tighter, and I have like a
tighter, like as in
water.
You're not even like buttoning up the button, and you're doing the belt up on the last notch. And you don't even do the button up, and you're
where like you sit down in your pants, and like the front of it does that fold towards your fly because your belly's pushing on it now. And I was already like, when I'm banging on all cylinders, I'm wearing 32 jeans. When I'm in like dire straits, I'm at 36 jeans, and I was like wearing these 34s. And except they were the stretchy kind of 34s, and I've allowed myself to fall into the
You're
trap
in like
before.
pudgy purgatory in the middle place between
And I'm
two,
sick of it,
two
sick of being
spots.
fat again. Or I'm going to stop before I get truly fat again. And so I've been exercising. I've been cooking boring fucking meals for myself every night to
Like what though? You're not doing 5 almonds as a snack, right?
No, because I'm still doing a lot of lifting. 5 almonds. No, I do like.
That's Woody, bro.
I've just been like cracking a bunch of eggs and putting the leanest ground beef I can buy and like making a scramble and then eating a baked potato with like no butter on it. It's so boring. I feel like I'm in prison.
What about your guns though? You sitting on some thick guns there?
I'm working on it. Yeah,
That means they're big though. I saw Taylor and I was like, oh, this guy. Look at this guy doing fucking bicep curls.
That's true.
Bicep curls 3 times a week.
I appreciated that compliment Harley gave me when I met him. He was like, "You're both taller and more jacked than I thought you would be."
Yeah, I think I instantly started grabbing and slapping your arms.
I even texted Harley. I even messaged Harley. Like I was looking at the raw footage of that whole shoot, and I was like, low key, I was like, "Damn, Taylor's looking jacked, dude." I don't know, like you can't tell on PKA what's going on. It was just like pretty shocking to catch you in like a medium shot. where you're looking.
It is weird. Like if if you gave someone the task of setting me up to look as fat and awful as possible on PKA for 10 years, they would set up my camera and lighting exactly as it has been. I look so. I'll like sometimes I want to see the comments on the show just to see how it's being received on YouTube and everything. Make sure everybody's liking it, and then in the sidebar I'll see like PKA clips highlights, and it'll be like my face from like one of my fattest phases on there, photoshopped into like soy jacking, and I'm just like I find myself like scrolling down quickly to get it off my screen so I don't have to be confronted.
But I posted this one actually.
That's not too bad.
No, it's a cute picture. I thought.
Thank you.
This is a cute picture of you. It's a cute. This is a cute little. I put this on PKA. I asked him. I was like, I want questions for Taylor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. No, but Lynch actually has a list that he put together himself.
No, I just wanted to ask him when he felt that 34 waist flip over and he's drinking quarts of milk, did you triple down? Like sometimes when I feel that, I'm like, this is a later problem. I'm about to sit down.
No, what do you mean? He's doing it right now. He said he's handling it.
I'm doing it now,
I'm
but
saying
there
that
was
like in the moment, I'm not handling it. I'm like, I feel it. I'm really not happy about it. I'm like, this
One day in 2019, Lynch Jollymaxxed, and he has not stopped since then.
came back. Yeah.
You're on a streak.
It's been a Jim Jam Jollymaxxing Jubilee for Justin
And I am
Lynch.
jolly.
Non-stop over.
Yeah.
It's like
No, but you know what? He's got a
lost.
good fat. That's why he's lucky. Like I get fat. Like my body does weird shit. It like weird things happen. Like my underwear, like the waistline on my underwear flips down.
Well,
I've had that. We've all been
It's
there.
weird. It's like it's like on your body. It just goes, and now it's like a fold all around. And then I'll fix it, and then it goes, and it'll do it again. And I know I'm like not fat when my underwear stops doing that. When
I
it's
like
just chilling.
a big wake up call for me is like if I'm getting out of the shower and like I like catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror in like a side profile and I can see my big fucking love handles, and then I turn towards the mirror to get a full body to see what I'm doing, and I just got big birthing hips, big old bitch hips.
I know what I do. Like actually, like so it's not like an angle. Like I'm not completely bladed to the mirror, but I'm like kind of like reaching around, maybe like drawing my back left leg from the right, and I got this corkscrew thing happening.
Yeah.
And I look and I see that in the mirror, and there's just a bizarre shape that would never be shown on TV or something of a man's body. And like it would never be shown anywhere. No one would ever, and it's just this thing. And it's just like, remember that time, Lynch, I was wearing my shirt and I was showing you that my love handle on it, and you were cracking up. You were like, it looks like a tit.
I have a question for Taylor though, because you're getting back into it. Are you in a like my
he's not giving you his secrets, bro.
No,
He's
my
not
problem is
giving you his secrets.
I'm
I know what you're
married,
trying to do.
I have a kid. Like I basically have no reason to get in shape. Are you? In
And
a
that's why
relationship, or
you have
are
no excuse, Taylor.
Like,
This guy,
are you supposed to be in shape right now, or are
You
you
gotta do
not
it for your
supposed to be in
kids.
shape right now?
I mean,
Based on
ideally, I would
relation
always
status.
be in shape.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
you
I have a girlfriend, that I've had for
Okay.
about a year and a half now or
Oh,
so.
yeah.
And
So
I've,
you could be Jollymaxxing at that point.
I like tricked her. I was in such good shape, like when we started dating, and then just like slowly, like had those instances where it's like, you know what, you do deserve an entire box of Cheez-Its tonight. You do deserve to buy a family size carton of goldfish that they use to like hand out snacks in Dixie cups in kindergarten classes, and you should have access to that at all hours of the day. And then you just slowly get fatter and fatter, and then it gets to the point that you put on a t-shirt that's been like in the wash cycle for a while, and you remember it being flattering on you, but then all you can see is it sticking to you like a vacuum sealed package around the back. Like, you know, when your love handles are sticking out further back than your inner back does, and there's this like disgusting chasm. And so I was starting to get to that point again, and I was like, I'm shutting this down, because I've been in the trenches, you know, fat wise. I think it's an old Bobby Kelly joke where like, I think I'm on like my 4th or 5th fat. And shout out Bobby Kelly from the O&A show. But I'm trying to fight back, and like, it's one of those things where, like, every time I get back, like for me, like I'm 6 feet tall, like 190 is like where I start really feeling good. I'm seeing a little, you know, stomach definition, stuff like that. Not any sort of abs, but like, you know, lean. You can see the definition in there starting to show up. And then I get like fucking high on my own supply. I get like fart
like,
smeller mode where I'm like, I deserve this, man. Your delts are looking great. Well, it wouldn't hurt you to order pizza again. Sometimes
like
normal adults get pizza 3 times in 1 week. Dude, there was a period of darkness where I was gaining a lot of weight, where like my treat every single Thursday after PKA was like eating an entire pizza. Like I would get a whole pizza, and it's like I do the show every week. And Thursday's not always the most active day for me because I'm fucking sitting here making dick jokes online. But to answer your question, it feels so good to be muscular.
Yeah,
like
being single is the
like
antidote. Like being like, I need to leave my family like very badly. Like I have to like separate from my wife and my child for like 3 months. Guarantee I come back with a 6-pack. Like for sure.
But
I have to live a single life. I also have to
Lynch.
be on
The reason
app.
why,
Lynch
is the reason you say like Lynch is actually he could push his fat much further than I could push my fat until people like if I put on like 15 pounds, my mom would be like, you look like shit. You're not eating right, are you? Like 15 pounds is like, it's weird. It sits on like the bottom of my left tit. Like my body's doing weird things. It's not like stored, where Lynch can store his fat in a way that when by the time people told him, hey, you're looking kind of fat, he realizes a very large project to undertake now. Like I was getting notified constantly, 15 pounds, 20 pounds. And I pushed it when I didn't see people publicly in pandemic. Like I pushed numbers to astronomical heights beyond 300, you know? Yeah, no one was like, people didn't see me, so I didn't get it on. But like Lynch, by the time people were like, hey, you've been putting on weight, that's when he's like, oh yeah, he's got like 65 pounds.
It's already too late.
To tighten up.
It's like I have
an ex-athlete over here.
And then there's also like the tricky thing to fall into, like at my absolute fattest ever, probably 4 years ago, 5 years, I don't actually remember anymore. But at my absolute fattest, I was on this constant train of rationalization where it was like, I'm lifting weights all the time and I'm stronger than I've ever been. And so like, just keep doing this. And then there was just one day, like again, where I was changing to get in the shower and I just looked at myself. And usually a nice trick for me to tell how fat I'm getting is, you know how if you like twist your trunk down like this in both directions laterally, you can feel where the flesh touches, like from your upper body and the lower upper body. And like, I noticed like in that time of fatness, it's like, I'm not moving at all. And there's already creases there. This is disastrous.
Oh, the standing side crease. I remember my boy Zach. He got. I remember the year he got standing fat creases. Yeah, like I saw him. He took his shirt off. I was like, whoa! It's like the back looks like it's bending to both sides at the same time. Yeah. Always.
I like to imagine my body like on a beach, like that it's someone else, and I like run myself through the rigmarole of what I would think about someone else's body, where like if it was mine. And like when I start to get to the point of like, that guy's got to get his shit together, it's like, yeah, you're that guy now. you're binge eating pistachios. And then at the beginning of every weight loss like
Kill the whole bag
endeavor, I always do this shit where I overeat something that's technically kind of healthy. Like I'll buy a bag of pistachios and I'll eat 600 calories of them, to the point that I've got like guitarist calluses on my fingers from how many I'm cracking open. And then after like a week of that, it's like, all right, let's be smart.
I had a Costco sized bag.
What'd you do?
We bought, and then within 2 days, like I ate it in 3 days, like a Costco sized bag. And my wife went to go get one, and she's like, where are the pistachios? I was like, too late, man. What are you talking about?
Don't lie, Lynch. Have you? I know too late is a big line that I say. Whenever someone's like, you ate all the thing, I'm like, too late, bro. It's been here for like 72 hours.
Who would you think? Food in the house for a week? What are you, stupid?
72 hours. Like, what are you thinking? This delicious thing that I love and you kind of like, you think it's going to be here forever? And if you want, we can go get more. I want another one. Let's go get more.
We can do it. We can get 5. It's Costco.
We'll do a quick run.
My most recent dangerous endeavor into something that's like quasi technically healthy was I got these dried apricots from the grocery store because it's like high fiber, they taste really good. Sure. And like I'm like one of those idiots where I saw something online that was like, did you know a lot of people are potassium deficient because of how much sodium is in our diet? And I'm like, oh, that's so true. And so then I literally Google, I'm like, high potassium foods, and it's like apricots right up there.
Yummy.
And so I went and I got some from the grocery store, ate the little container, fantastic. And then I was like, these are too expensive for me to buy at the grocery store. I wonder if there's an Amazon solution. And there's like some Turkish company that sells them in 5-pound bag. 5 pounds is an enormous amount of dried apricots is what I learned.
They're dried,
The label of
there's no liquid in there.
The label on it is like one of those foreign country labels where the brand is called We Got Nuts. And there's like claims on it that aren't in great English where it's like soft and delicious. Like and so like I got this giant 5-pound bag of them, and so like over the course of a week I was just eating handfuls of these things, and like 3 days in, it was one of those foods where I didn't realize how much fiber I was consuming. I had like a whole day where like I shit so many times and the volume of it was so remarkable that I was like, I must be clearing out pizza from months ago. I must be clearing out chicken
old
wings.
ones in there.
Yeah, I fired out some old ones. It was like one of those shits where like it's like cresting the water.
It's more like, or I've had some more that are like so crazy that it's like it's a different shit. And I know because it looks and feel. I mean, it just looks different. Like this one is like hard and dark, and that one's much softer and lighter.
It's like sedimentary layers and so
yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, that one's been in there, and it never would have came out if this one didn't come out. And this is definitely the Chinese, but how did the Chinese get out first? I had it after. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, there was some sort of like wacky races happening in your lower intestine.
Well, I'm at the level of fat where like I consider burgers snacks. Like that's not even a meal. That's just a snack.
It's a dangerous game, my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he is. He's been.
I've been teetering.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm like
enjoying life.
Yeah,
I'm like Jollymaxxing is the perfect way.
He doesn't gamble.
He
doesn't do drugs.
Yeah, I just might eat 5 hamburgers.
Snacks.
I just might order $50 worth of fast food and eat all by myself in my car like a real scumbag. Come home with a little meal and be like, oh, I got a meal for us. What do you think?
Oh, I've done secret meals before. Yeah.
Well, you guys ever hide? Like, I don't know what the situation is with your girlfriend, but like, at one point you were married, Lynch, you're married. Mm-hmm. You guys ever like hide garbage?
Hide garbage?
Yeah, like finish a bag of chips and like fold the bag of chips into your jean pocket and like throw it out later or something. Yeah, somewhere else. Yeah, like so they're not like, where's that bag of chips or like something.
I've done that shit where like my like she or like now my girlfriend's like asleep on the couch and like this is like 2 hours after I'm like, I'm getting back in great shape again, babe. I'm going to be jacked and you're not going to have to fuck this fat ogre. And then like I find myself like in the pantry, like coughing to cover up a bag of pretzels opening. And then I have like this shame of like, you're hiding eating from your girlfriend. Like And then I get indignant where I'm like, she's in your house. You can eat as much as you want, brother. And so it's like this,
That's what it is.
Difficult thing to overcome.
It's like anytime I've gone through some fat shit, I'm always like, you know what? You want to be better than you. So you got to stop listening to you, because you is a little bitch. And you don't want to listen to you. You want to listen to you, because you are a warrior. So you should be you. Don't be you. Be you in your head. That voice. And I have long conversations with him sometimes. When I'm like playing Xbox, dude, the things he'll say to convince me to like keep playing Xbox. Somehow, like, we're like talking about how I should get up to go to the gym. And now I'm like, nah, it's a victory if I don't bust out the ketamine right now. I wanted to go to the gym. He told me to keep playing Xbox. You should be happy that I'm just sitting here playing Xbox and I'm not doing the ketamine, because that's what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to get called my guy. He wanted me to have a mirror here on a Wednesday night at 1 a.m.
I can see Amir enjoying some ketamine.
Chefing it up. Yeah. Chefing up with a nice credit card.
I remember he did that. He did dabble with that once, and he was really like, because it has some like drunk effects, can make you feel drunk. And I think he liked the value. No, ketamine. I think he liked the value of that. Like, he could have 2 beers and do some K, and then it's like it's like he's had,
I have a question. Now you brought up K,
half bottle of vodka.
No, this is important. Now you brought up K.
I bet it's gonna be real important.
The Billionaire Boys were out the other day for the inauguration, and apparently, I don't know if you guys saw, Elon was out there apparently on K, but it seems like
I did see that video of him.
Video of him rolling his eyes.
The video of him
he's just on ketamine. Don't worry. And then he did do.
Like, what do you mean? He just did a Nazi salute to the U.S. flag. Don't worry.
So I'm curious,
and then like, that was a Nazi salute. Don't worry.
I'm gonna say this right now.
Special KKK.
He 100% that was intentional. That's my take on it. What do you guys think? Because I've had this debate in my life already.
Bro.
Not the ketamine, the salute. To me, that was real. I heard some real coaching going on today about it. That's for sure. What do you think?
I think he's like an autistic weirdo, and I see it as the same vein as when he did that embarrassing midriff reveal jump, like he's like an anime character while Trump's on stage, where like he's yelling like "my heart goes out to you," and then doing like what looks exactly like.
I mean, if I was like my heart goes out, but if I was like my heart goes out to you, I would be like this. And then maybe I would never say such a gay thing, first of all. I think I would do this. Like, first of all, anyone says my heart goes out to you will never be top 10 Path of Exile player.
No.
Never in a billion years is the type of guy that says my heart goes out to you. But if I did do my heart goes out to you, I would probably do this and then like a little kiss point thing.
Yeah.
I definitely would not like, it's a lot to extend your elbow. Like, that's like, you ever karate chop 45 degrees up?
Twice.
Have you ever? This is like your older brother's coming to beat you up on the couch or something, and you karate chop away 45-degree angle up. You don't have that built in. My shoulder's like warm a little bit, like I just worked it out in a bizarre way, because my shoulder's like, oh, we did that, and then imagine you did that move, and then you turned around. And you did it again. You like did it again. Like, no, if you're like my heart goes out to you, why are you throwing it? Well, he like threw the heart. He was like, he threw it like it was violent, and then he like threw it again violently.
Is your hand like when you throw something? Is like that how your hand ends up? No, that's not how your hand ends up.
Mean yours doesn't?
Something, you finish it off like this. It's never a direct angle up. Like. He's thrown to space. I heard that line too. Like, oh, he was throwing the heart to space.
So, but wait, I don't think he's a Nazi. I don't think he's a Nazi, though.
No,
me neither.
So.
Like, I don't think that.
An awkward weirdo.
I think the guy like is just got mashed up on Twitter for like the last month or so on that H1B stuff, and I think like if you like, I like to like go on Twitter and see in mentions and whatnot, and like he did have the type of person that would see a salute and go hell yeah. Was the type of person that he was getting a lot of shit from and used to be like a bit about him. And I think this is like an easy dub in the sense that he can go to Twitter and ultimately, like, I don't know if, I don't think the intent was to do Sig Heil. I think he wanted attention. Which is like, no, but I mean, like, he wanted attention for doing it.
He
wanted everyone to talk about it. He wanted everything.
Yes.
And like, that is, like, that's more bothersome to me than the Nazi that's like, sees it and goes, hell yeah. Like, for some reason, him lying about the video game bothers me more than the Sig Heil. I'm being serious. Like, the video game shit to me was like, what kind of a monster are you? The guy who does that salutes the flag like that and salutes everyone. I'm like, oh, I know this. This is like, I know when someone's an attention whore. I've dealt with that. I'm in the space. I am one myself. But then when I see the guy that lies about playing Path of Exile and like plays the game to act like it's him, the whole thing, and then you add the fact that this is like the richest guy on the planet. That, like, this is like, he's
I just refuse to take. I don't think
he's like he might be number one.
Oh, he is absolutely. I think he's definitely Asperger's.
No, I don't think that results in what happened. I don't think that's the cause and effect of that. Like, sure, yeah, he might.
I don't even think he's doing it like for attention, because like, I don't give him any credit in like the social world for anything relating to 3D chess. Like, the way he shoved both his feet in his mouth, clearly lying about being a top video game guy. Like, anyone with half a brain, at least in regard to how social situations play out, wouldn't realize like that doesn't work.
What about the move to buy? I would say, like, buying Twitter, he was widely panned for that. People were like, he's an idiot. He's spending $44 billion on a business that doesn't actually generate that amount of money or close to that amount of money. Like, it was like widely considered a stupid decision. And I would argue that was the best decision he made to like influence the election, influence the conversation.
For sure.
Like, magnify his, like, you know, put
but
a
people were like, it's a bad decision.
They're like, that's a terrible move by him.
But when people are like, it's a bad decision, they were thinking a real life bad business decision. They weren't thinking of the possibility that you could leverage the website as a personal megaphone and then use crypto and stuff to, like, you know, buddy up to the president and then use crypto to make his money back. Like, I mean, you know, it is.
I don't know. I think the rug pull we're about to experience in 4 years is gonna be huge, though. That's for sure. I feel like
with the Donnie J coin.
Did you get any Baron coin? Did you get any Baron coin, Taylor?
I didn't get any of the coins. I missed.
Did you get any Baron?
No,
I didn't get any Baron.
Wait, wasn't the Baron one like some guy who was like, let's fucking do it, and like, it wasn't even.
That guy's a billionaire now, though.
Dude, I don't understand. I wish I had even like a cursory understanding of how crypto differs from just a tulip market. Like, I don't get it. Like, I've never talked. I have friends who are really into crypto, and if I ask them, like, so what have you bought with it ever? They're like, what do you mean? Buying things is for money. These are my internet coins.
Yeah, it's a storage of value.
This is going to be
worth no value
someday.
No, I think what's happening though,
so it's just an online fiat currency.
Yeah, like I think the Trumps have gotten wise to the amount. I think there will be like, we're just like maybe $100 billion play for them ultimately, because like undoubtedly Trump was wealthy and had money. You know, like he probably was let's say he's a billionaire. Say a $2 billion. You know, something like all these tech guys up there are worth $200+ billion. $1 billion is a lot of money. $200 to $400 billion is like, you're essentially
crazy. Yeah,
it's like insane. Like, you can do anything. And $1 billion, you can do anything. But it's a whole other level. And I think
you're just being a loser at that point, though.
You are.
If I have $2 billion and I make $400 billion, like, please kick my ass.
But I think
like, just kick my ass.
They recognize that they're going to get. There's an opportunity here over the next 4 years to like influence regulation and
Lynch thinks it's going to be, by the way, that King Baron Trump will be the first.
No, I don't think that. No, I think they're going to get $100 billion.
Yeah, and he thinks he's going to rule like Joffrey.
No, I don't think so. That's our other.
I do want to. If we go back to the kings, I want a tall king who's fit. I don't want a fat king.
Keep describing Barron, bro.
Yeah. Well, we haven't heard Barron talk. What if Barron like is like also
got an unfortunate
Asperger
voice.
and does?
Imagine they gave him a mic to speak one day, and he was like, "Now listen up, motherfuckers." Cuts a wrestling promo.
Yeah.
Well, he did
That would be very
suggest
funny.
Trump go on the Theo Vaughn podcast and the Nelk Boys, and like it is pretty surreal watching the video clips of
Yeah, and he
Conor
made
McGregor.
Trump. He also made Trump.
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, and like Kyle from Nelk Boys all on a bus together, and like Logan Paul's mom. I'm like, what is going on, man? This is fucking weird. Like,
Yeah.
no,
I've never
no-
listened to Nelk Boys podcast, but I saw like a clip of him of Trump on that show, and it was guys with like sweatpants and bad posture being like, so like you gotta tell me like what's the CIA doing? And it's like he's like sitting he's always sitting like very forward, like elbows on his knees, like trying to command the situation. And it was such a juxtaposition of like guys who are clearly thinking like what video games and takeout they're gonna DoorDash after this, and then Trump being like, I guess I trust my son, these guys must be important. And then like just sitting on there for 2 hours. And it's
No,
like,
he
okay.
loves Barron. Trump loves his son.
You think he's
Yeah.
number
He
one
loves
out
his-
of
he
all
loves
his
his
kids?
big tall
You
son.
think
He's number. Dude, I know who number 3 is. That fucking that sloth looking guy,
Eric?
the big blonde.
Yeah, Eric.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Eric.
the oldest. I think
Eric's
the
number 3,
Or does Don
distant.
Jr. the oldest?
I think Don Jr.'s the oldest. He would come in as number 2, obviously, but I think Barron's the clear favorite.
I thought Ivanka was probably number 1 for the longest time, but she's been kind of low key lately. Ever since he left office,
I don't
They've just
like
been
I
taking
don't
that-
like ranking the Trump family members anymore. I like joking about Barron, but I don't really like talking about him. I'm kind of a Barron super fan. I don't really give a fuck about
Oh
everyone
yeah,
else.
you're a Barron super fan.
No,
What's your
that's true.
favorite? What's his work? What's his favorite work he's done for you? Like, what do you like?
Dude,
too much to narrow down.
He got a victory royale wearing the Will Smith skin with Skibbity toilet back bling the day that Mariah Carey defrosted in Fortnite, and he was just some fucking big dick shit, dude.
That's,
Did it really?
I made that all. That was me actually. I just described.
I
it.
have no idea.
I'm
So
Barron.
is Barron to credit with even the Joe Rogan stuff? Because I mean,
yeah,
Trump knew about
Trump
Rogan.
credits him for that. Yeah, Trump says, "Oh yeah,
Okay.
like I got to think," because he shouted out Barron at the inauguration. He goes, "Oh, my very tall son, my very tall son." I wish my dad would be like, "Oh, my
If
very
Trump had the
tall,
opportunity-
handsome son over here." He told me the best
Should have been
place
that then,
best
bro.
McDonald's to go to. I was at one point before I got married.
If you should have had a six pack, you'd be eating McDonald's on Air Force One.
That's true. Yeah,
Instead,
that's
you're
true.
hiding
That'd be
bags of your McDonald's in your
oh,
car.
have you
He
guys
doesn't
seen
even
that
get that
picture
plane, by the
of? Have you seen that picture on Air Force One where it's like right after RFK had been added to his little team, and Trump once again has like him and Vance and their little cavalcade of guys sitting around eating McDonald's, and they're all smiling for the photo op, and RFK has like nuggets in front of him, and he's like grimacing at the camera,
One of my
like
favorite
knowing
pictures.
he's gonna have to eat this emulsified paste because otherwise,
I
Trump's not
spoke
gonna
about
let him
that
in.
picture
That's
for an
like
hour.
that's a Trump communion. Is
Yeah, that's
eating
that's
McDonald's.
he's power. He's power levels above him with that move. He's like, you got to eat this if you want to be on the team.
Eat the
Yeah,
nuggets,
yeah, got
Robert. You're gonna love them.
Yeah, he said he got him on camera eating them.
I
you seen,
don't want to dip them in the sweet and sour sauce. You're gonna dip them in the sweet and sour sauce, you stupid homo. Just do it.
How long till
Man, I
Elon
would
hate
pay
each
money
other?
to see Trump big dick people behind doors. I would pay to see such things, like the things that he says out in real life. So imagine.
Yeah. Dude, he's so rude to people sometimes. It's great.
Like, I think 6 months these guys hate each other. Like, there's no way. Like, I feel like that thing that like Elon is just like he's everywhere. You see everywhere Trump is, Elon's popping up because he gave him $250 million towards his campaign to help him get elected, and clearly was a big part of helping them run a successful campaign. But like, there's no way these two are going to be able to coexist in any way, because Elon's obviously a fucking wild card, and Trump does not like people trying to big time him ever. He's the man.
Elon is just a grating. I imagine Elon would be a grating personality over time, because he's like already, fucking doing ridiculous salutes on stage, jumping around like it's a frat party, like not respecting it as much as he probably should, the whole process. And I can see Trump just kind of getting sick of that over time. Being
Yeah.
like, this guy is always in my ear, He's doing ridiculous shit that's distracting from our agenda by like lying about video game high scores. Like eventually what's going to happen, I could see the way it eventually happens is like Barron going to his dad and being like, Dad, all your followers on Twitter think he's cringe now. And then, you know, Trump will have to go to Elon and be like, yeah, either be funnier or like drop the cringe. And then Elon won't be able to. He's cringe incarnate.
No, he doesn't have that. Yeah, he doesn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the text that he leaked with Asmongold, where he was like, oh yeah, who are these editors? Like, I know he thought that like Asmongold works for like a newspaper, and he had an editor like J. Jonah Jameson that was like, bring me pictures of Spider-Man. That's what he thought. He was like, who are these editors? He had no concept of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. And like, why have beef with Asmongold? I don't know much about Asmongold. And that's probably great for him that he had a public beef with Elon Musk. That was also a very low stakes public beef about like some innocuous DMs and video game high scores.
He lost his check mark for like half a day.
He did.
I think that was because like if you change your profile picture on there, it says like you're gonna lose your check mark for a bit until they reapprove. Because I was gonna change my profile picture at one point a couple months ago, and it was like, we're gonna remove your check for a bit, and I was like, well, it's not even fucking worth it. I just won't do it.
Yeah. I was changing like my bio, and I was gonna do that.
Maybe Elon's just so rich that he's just chilling with everyone in the back. He's with Mark and Bezos, and they're all chilling in the back room, and he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'll bet you $1 billion right now. I'm gonna go up there and do a little salute. What you think? And Mark's like, nah, bro. Yeah, right. Bezos like, you're crazy, man. You would never do that.
It had the energy.
You would never
it had
do
the
that,
energy.
Ever.
It had the energy of a bet, like someone bet him to do it.
Watch me.
They're like the exchange
goes up there.
Billion. Yeah, it's like a $10 billion conversation. He's like, yeah, 10 billion. I wouldn't. You wouldn't do it. 10 bill. Mark's and the Bezos like
10 bill.
Billion. Yeah,
and you have to do it in this Hugo Boss
suit for the next month if you'd like.
You can touch this whore's tits that I brought with me. If you go up there and goose step around for a while.
I think Bezos is living the best billionaire.
You know what? I'd agree that he was doing it intentionally if he also did like the finger mustache thing while he did it. But as of now,
he's got to do it again.
Weirdo.
Elon, I know you're watching this. Then the next time you did, if you want us to believe it, you got to do the finger mustache at the same time.
Yeah, and you got to snap your heels, like snap to Hugo Boss suit on, clean shaven.
I'm gonna stick to it. He did it to me. He did it on purpose, and it's he really for the, he did it for the lols. That's what he wanted.
He did it
for
to
the
personally.
Memes. That's what he wants. To.
Yeah, I think he's such an awkward guy. I think he probably just made an ass of himself.
He awkwarded his way to 400 billion. I don't know, man. It sounds pretty.
I think all of
business wise, he knows what he's doing. But like, if you watch him socially, even the way he's standing in photos with the Trumps, like he's just weird. Like that.
Dude,
we on the show of PKA, we were looking at pictures of him. Oh, dude, he's worth $400 billion.
He's quiver full big time right
He's
now.
got a full quiver, but
Dude,
imagine like trying to talk to him.
He's a couple arrows short of a full quiver.
Not when it comes to the kids department, man. He
like if you had him as a guest on this show, I feel like he's the kind of guy where you'd ask him an open-ended question and you'd get like a distracted yes or no.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then when you tried to delve deeper into the question, he would follow up with something that didn't quite answer the initial question at all, but just like to try and pretend he's paying it. That guy has Asperger's. For sure. Or is Asperger's still even a thing? Do they just call it all autism now?
I don't know.
I don't know the rules.
But did you see that video of him all like?
That was on purpose, though. He saw the camera. Did you see that angle where he saw the camera, and then he started doing the like Harley? This is like Harley in elementary school hanging out
at a bar mitzvah.
And he's like, he catches someone's eye, and he's like. And he starts doing dumb faces or some stupid shit just to like get a rise out of him.
Except I'm funny, bro.
Except Harley's charismatic.
I'm hilarious, dude. Like I actually was killing it in Halo. I wasn't hiring someone to
do you think me. Elon is like, how does he have time to do work? Like, is he working? Like, I feel like he's on Twitter all day.
We talked about this on the show like briefly, but like he lied in totally the wrong direction where like if he actually was playing enough Path of Exile 2 to be the number one player, the public lie should be, I hired a guy from China to do this. I'm too busy with my projects to spend all this time gaming, but I still want to enjoy high-level play, and so I pay this guy to do it for me. Instead, he lied in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Like, because
why is he got time
values
for
that
Aspen Gold
is
right
higher.
now? Like, why has he got time for Aspen
That's
Gold?
that's it. He is like,
why? Why is he
He's
got time
addicted,
for
he's
I don't think
addicted
he's
to Twitter.
I don't think he's doing anything actually. Like if I had his money, first of all, I wouldn't be flying to wherever Donald Trump is all the time. I wouldn't be chilling like that. If I had $400 billion, I wouldn't want to chill with the one guy on planet Earth that could tell me to shut the fuck up and sit down. Like, he's managed to find the one guy that will and probably does say, like, shut the fuck up for a second. We're talking.
Oh, yeah.
And if I had that type of money, I wouldn't do it.
I'd be doing like I'd be spending all day with like engineers and architects designing my own like Rob Dyrdek fantasy factory. They'd be like, "Did you know the election happened?" I'd be like, "Shut up." Okay, so the slide is going to go here, and the lazy river goes around the hockey rink.
Yeah, you're like, I don't care about the election. I have like enough money to just go anywhere or be anywhere.
Yeah,
and not be worried of any of this. Yeah. So
you think I give a fuck? Did you miss the news when I bought every NHL team and traded all my favorite players to St. Louis? I dissolved the Chicago Blackhawks immediately. I moved them to Saskatchewan. Like, I'd be doing all sorts of fun stuff if I had billions of dollars. I would not care at all about that shit.
I for sure would help more than everyone's been helping.
I feel
like if I had 400 bill, I'd be like, yo, I'm just like giving out 15 mil to
and like, you know what's funny is 15 mil?
My favorite person to the hottest girl on Instagram.
I'd be judging you so hard. You're like, I gave 50 million to like wildfire relief. I'd be like, bro, you're like, everyone's like, you have $400 million. Like, maybe try 100 million and come talk to us.
I'm like maybe try and clear up the fucking brush, dude. Maybe try and clear up the brush.
You know what I would do? I would make huge to-dos about donating like $600.
Like the biggest check. It has to be airlifted. The check was $48,000. All
right. Well, I donated $600 after the big check and the ceremony. It's $213.41, which is going straight to the firefighters.
Do you ever see that though? You see like a really rich person donating, and they tell you the number, and you're like, I don't know about that number. That number feels a little light, even though they're doing a nice thing. They're donating some money to a situation. And you're like,
I've never heard a rich person donate and be like, and not do the fucking sickening math where I'm like, I know nothing about you other than what I think I know about your money. Yeah. Let me do the math on why you're not really going to heaven, maybe, buddy. But there are two times where I do remember where I was like, no, that's huge. Was when Patagonia, where they're like, oh, we made enough money, so now all of our money is donations. And
that's cool.
Yeah. And when George Lucas sold Star Wars, he had like a part of it was stock in Star Wars that is donations back to like the Art Society. So Star Wars is like the biggest amount of money donated to the arts. And I'm like, so that's cool also, because it's like an ongoing forever type thing. Mm-hmm. But like when it's like Bill Gates, I'm like, give half, bro.
Yeah.
Give half. I saw that Facebook post that's like, if they lost 99% of their money, they'd still be billionaires. Mm-hmm. Give 80%, bro. You give half. Cool. Give half. Give 80%.
Be like Sam Bankman.
No, they're running their
like, give all your money away. You know, just tell them when you give your money away, and drive like a Corolla, but instead you're living like the lavish lifestyle, having group sex with all the nerds. You know, he's like, oh, he's all about it's like altruistic. He's like altruistic giving. He's like, remember, there's an interview of Sam Bankman-Fried in like front of a Corolla. Like he even drives a Corolla. And he's like dressed, you know, he dresses like that stupid hairstyle.
Corolla.
Yeah, and he's like, but really, he's buying his parents like a $20 million house. You know, he's like siphoning funds off and paying, buying himself all this dope shit. I'm like, this is hilarious. that everyone was like, yeah, this
it's like
guy's
that
the
Warren
guy.
Buffett shit where they're like, do you know Warren Buffett lives in the same house in Nebraska that he did in 1955? And it's like, shut the fuck up. That just means he's a no fun having idiot. If that's the case.
Yeah, he doesn't have a fantasy factory filled with fucking and sucking.
Dude, if you're a billionaire and you don't have a fantasy factory, you're so lame. You're so lame.
I was like,
jail,
you're a
so I don't
billionaire.
know.
You don't have
You
a
gotta be
fantasy
careful.
factory of fucking and sucking.
Yeah. I'd have Rob Dyrdek there. I'd have actually RIP. I think Big died, but
He did die, yes.
I would have
It's
had
you have
Rob
enough
and Big
money,
there.
you'll make another one.
I'll reanimate Big.
and they didn't like each other when it
I'll
ended
exhume
either.
him.
That didn't end well. Him and
Oh, they didn't?
Rob. No, they
Damn.
they had a real beef going on actually.
Were
That
you
show
there
had
when he was at
nothing
dinner?
to
We
do
were at
most
dinner,
episodes.
and he was at dinner. Were you there? There, he
Who,
was
me?
sitting at a big table. Yeah, were you there?
I don't recall.
I like went over and I was like, "Should I go say hi? I'm gonna go say hi."
Let's
Yeah,
see.
they,
Where did
I
RIP
think
to Christopher Boykin.
it didn't end well. I did see an interesting clip that like I saw people freaking out about, like, you know, they're doing all these announcements in America now that they're signing all these orders and releasing people from prison and all this crazy stuff, but like they put in like $500 million to AI research or something. It's like it's like a bunch of it's like the guy who runs OpenAI and like Larry Ellison, and then like he comes up and Trump's standing there and this guy walks up to the podium and he's like started talking about mRNA vaccines, and like I saw this Twitter post and I'm like, man, this is like all of Trump's voters' fucking biggest fear. He's like, we're gonna cure cancer with the mRNA. They're like, come on, man, I gotta leave now. This is fucking bullshit. We just got Trump back, and I was laughing so hard. I'm like, that's hilarious that this guy just rolled out and started bringing up vaccines.
It's like, why are you mad about? People were mad about it back in the day because it was like forestry, lose your job. Like, why would you be mad about them researching shit?
Well,
That
apparently
they're trying to
cure
figure
cancer.
stuff
They
out.
said they're going to be able to like use AI and the mRNA vaccine to find a way to help prevent and or cure cancer with that. I'm like, that sounds pretty chill. Actually, I'd be into that.
Yeah, if they can figure that out, that's great news.
I mean,
Because cancer kills a lot of us.
there's a good chance if we live another like 10, 15 years, like you see that guy Brian Johnson who wants to live forever. The guy spent like $2 million a year. You ever see that
He's
guy?
on that
Looks like a
Netflix
vampire.
show, Don't Die.
Yeah,
I've
he's
seen
like
him. Yeah.
he's everywhere now. He's like been all over. But I've been
He's, you
following
know
him
what?
for a while.
He's him and Trump. Like, if they had the chance, like Trump, I was thinking about if Trump had the chance to like consume Barron, like put his soul
Oh, God,
within
yeah,
Barron
yeah.
Trump,
Yeah.
and Barron Trump's soul is lost. He would do that. You don't
He
think he would
make
do
the
that?
trade.
I bet he would. Yeah,
yeah, I
I
he'd,
think so. Yeah.
he'd consume his son's body and then
question
live
is-
another 100 years.
The question is, would you?
I just think you got to make it 10
Yeah.
If you
years.
woke up tomorrow, if you woke up to this is a great comedy movie. If you wake up tomorrow and you're Barron Trump,
Oh,
Your boy, your
immediately
favorite, yeah.
I'm dropping out of college, being like, this is gay, not doing any of this college stuff. And then you would know it was me because I'd immediately start building a fantasy factory. I'd be like, Dad, I know you want me to follow in your footsteps, but we've got so much money. I don't really want to
the
do this.
blues, Dad.
I want the blues, Dad. Dad, if you don't bully your fucking gimp retard friend Elon into buying me the blues, then I'm gonna be so mad, and I'm gonna go be a Democrat. I'm gonna go take a knee at the fucking 50-yard at fucking Miami Dolphins Stadium if you don't buy me the blues. I'd be a lot more rambunctious than old Barron. I'd
If
get
I
what I
was
want.
Barron, I would do coke in the White House and play Fortnite. What?
That's what you do. Just play Fortnite. just
I'd
game
snort a
away.
line in the Oval Office, get sucked off, and play Fortnite.
Dude, being like the president's billionaire son heir who's also starting college, like you better be measured in the kind of women you're you're associating with, because you're going to be the hot guy on campus. Like everybody knows. Like it's even better than being just a billionaire's kid. It's like you're the
What
president's
school does
kid.
he go to?
Like
Somewhere in New York, but I
Ivy
don't
League.
know which one. I
Probably
think
like,
New York.
or Pennsylvania or
Yeah.
something like that. Go to like one of the like I think Trump went to Wharton School of Business, I'm pretty sure. So somewhere like that, maybe Harvard. Once you're a president's son and you're that rich, like you probably can go anywhere and probably not have to go to class, to be totally fair.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't feel like you actually have to really do anything. You can just sort of get in, you know?
Yeah. You just live off vibes.
Yeah,
I got a
exactly.
question. You're
Or Trump
do you
will
just
take, actually
podcast?
Trump already threatened to take away public funding if there's too much DEI going on in university. Like he's like, I'm gonna take away your
Down for
tax
that.
breaks. He's like, I'm gonna take away your tax breaks if you guys don't smarten up. I was like, fuck.
I'm gonna take away your Black Jedi.
It's all done.
Dude, some
man.
of those university endowments are crazy. Like you look it up and it's like, why the fuck does Yale have more money than God?
It's crazy.
Like just a bunch of rich
and they're
people.
hoarding it too. Yeah, they just like have it all
Yeah.
like, hanging out. They're like, yeah, we got billions.
They just have it all in different funds, making money off of financial
Because wherever
speculation.
it goes, people will be like, "What are you doing with that? That's what you're doing."
Well, you probably have to use like 5% to cover what you need to do. It's like people who like have like set up a way to give money away, and they like give like $100 million, and they really only spend like 5% a year, and it will last to infinity because like the interest they earn on the money or whatever investments that money, they don't actually have to spend any of it. It just sits there accumulating ungodly amounts of money or being invested somewhere where they're achieving like, I don't know, 8% return or something like that. And it's just like, what's 8% of
They're
like,
charging kids $78,000 a year to go there in the meantime. And it's like, this is fucking ridiculous.
I don't want to talk about the school money. Though. I want to talk how much money does Woody make on PKA?
I don't know.
Do you just do podcasts? Do you work?
No, I have a job. Yeah. Yeah, I do the podcast thing kind of on the side. And so it's a
People
fun
at work.
side hustle.
People at work know you podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. It's more like I don't talk about any work stuff on the show anymore. But people I work with know I do the podcast.
Okay.
And so it's
Do they
a
might
nice
ask,
little symbiotic.
like how,
Yeah.
like what kind of, not to like, I don't want to like out whatever you do, but like what kind of work is it? Like, is it like similar
I
industry?
used to work in the consumer package goods industry. So I'd
Okay,
like
yeah.
work with a company and then represent them at like Walmart corporate or Target corporate and, make the case with like a presentation and data and whatnot as to why they should add more of this line of products or they should expand their store count or why actually the pieces per store per week being bad right now isn't as bad as it looks. And then you do your little, statistical lies. And so I work still adjacent to that industry.
Do you get
Okay.
like when people at work when they're like, "Oh yeah, he podcasts"? Like, do they know that people listen to the podcast?
Yeah,
like-
yeah. Oh, dude, there was this was many years ago at this point, probably 8 or 9, and one of my bosses was like, he had asked me at one point. He's like, "I know you do this podcast thing. Like, what's that all about?" And then like he looked it up, and I guess he was assuming it was going to be like just some friends and nobody was fucking listening to it.
39 views.
Yeah, and then he found the iTunes page because he's like, "I want to listen to it," and I'm like, "I beg you not to." And then he like found it anyway, and
You're
he
like,
was like,
he pulls up an episode. It's you pulling your eyes at the side and doing
doing that kind of shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I basically like saw him start to look it up on iTunes, and he was like started laughing. It was like post meeting, so we were like leaving the conference room, and he was like, "Why are there so many reviews that say 5 stars, but a lot of them seem to circle around to like, it's so great of Kyle and Woody to include their special needs friend on the show with them." And there were tons of those being like, "It's great. People like Taylor should have a future." And so he was like really laughing at that. And I was like, okay, if he laughed at, the long running bit that I'm a retard, semi bit, then he'll enjoy it. But yeah, that always is, when you're dating again, the podcast thing is always an interesting discussion to breach. Like, I always lead for the first couple dates when I meet a new girl, just talking about my normal day-to-day job.
Okay, yeah.
And so that
That's
way
smart.
you can kind of trick them into thinking this guy there aren't hundreds of thousands of hours of this guy being retarded online. And then eventually, you bring up, I do a podcast too. But I promise people listen to it and it makes money. Like, you have to,
And also, you
have to-
shouldn't listen to it.
You
Don't
should
listen
listen to it,
It's not
but
for
people
you.
do.
You're not my target demo. Actually, this is not.
It's not. You're not 18 to 35 male, so you should
Yeah.
not listen to it.
You get
You wouldn't get the
recognized.
jokes. They're not that funny for you. The jokes.
Yeah. From time to time, I get recognized, and it'll just be always when I'm feeling fat at like the grocery store.
It's like late, you're tired.
Big shout out to the deli guy who recognized me about
Nice.
a year ago. But other than that, it's just like occasionally at the grocery store or out and about at a restaurant or something. Someone will come up and be like, "You're Taylor from PKA," and I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Nice."
They don't come up to you like, "Yo, RSK, my N-word."
No, but one guy. Sometimes they're a rowdy bunch, but I love them. Shout out to the PKA fans. But one guy, maybe the most embarrassing guy who recognized me ever was, this is probably 5 years ago now, and I was feeling sad. Had gotten out of work early, and I was on the way home at like, I think 2:30, 3 p.m. And I was like, I'm sad. I need a pizza. And so I pulled into a
pizza. That's the one. Right?
I love pizza. It's a comfort food for me.
Hello? So we're in the middle of a podcast. Okay, I'll tell you about that.
My landline's ringing right now. I apologize.
What are you doing? Who even has one of those, bro?
I have a landline.
Unplug it.
Yeah, and I don't fucking
Is
play
anyone
around
home?
here.
Take it off. What do you do? Take it off the phone.
I'm analog over here.
It could be
dude.
super important.
What if I gotta call 911? My phone's not working.
Yeah, he didn't consider that. But I went. I pulled off on the way home, and it was this little Domino's or Pizza Hut or whatever. And
Huge
one of the
difference.
ones
Big
where
difference,
it's
yeah.
just
That's exactly what I thought.
I think it was you know what, it was a Pizza Hut, because I wouldn't have pulled into a Domino's. And I went in, and it was one of those where it's just for delivery. Like there's no
the Express.
there's seats in there, but there's no table, and it's just like the seats that you would go to if you're like a little
Top
league
Pizza
coach
Hut
and you're
classic.
like waiting for the 10 pizzas. Yeah. It's not a Pizza Hut classic. There's no seating. And I go in, and I'm like, this is embarrassing. And there's one guy, one tattooed bearded guy behind the counter. I go, I'll have a medium pepperoni. I'm looking at the tray, praying that there's already one ready for me. There's not. It's just cheese. And he goes, yeah. I'll get that. I'll start cooking that right now for you. Are you Taylor from PKA? And I was like, I really wanted to be like, no.
And he's like, are you gonna get this pizza and eat it standing right there in the middle of this Pizza Hut Express?
Dude, I said, yes, that's me. Nice to meet you and whatnot. And I don't remember how I finagled it, but I know I tried to imply that I was picking up pizza for not just me.
For everyone.
Like if you've ever had
two plates and 2 forks, please.
Yeah, 2 plates, 2 forks, just for, or like you like go to your door when you've ordered pizza on like a sad night, and then like you take the large pizza and you have the TV on louder than it needs to be. So I look up a party discussion, play that loud, and so he hopefully doesn't know and judge me. But yeah, I got recognized in a moment of weakness there, and I never went back. He was such a nice guy too, and he told me, because we talked while he was making my fucking pizza. He's like, "Yeah, dude, I knew you'd come in eventually." He said, "I knew you'd come in. I knew you'd come into my freestanding pizza joint," and he was right.
I'm pretty interested that you like have like a civilian job, and considering that I would say the PKA podcast doesn't like hold back on what you discuss or things that are being said, is pretty interesting. That like you just that's chill. You just go work a regular job and no one's like worried about it. They're not like looking you up and being like, man, I can't believe it.
No,
that's fascinating.
No, and it depends what industry you're in and like what you're doing, but it's, if anything, it's like a less risky thing now than it was even like 5 years ago. Like I was way more afraid
of the number of people who are doing it, or you think people like the actual temperature in the country
response
changed?
From normal people. Like if in like 2018, 2019, like someone called a client of mine or something and was like, "Hey, here's an upsetting clip from this guy who you consult with." Like I would have been very afraid, because a lot of those people at the time were like really amped up on all that like freak out, and would have been like, "Oh my God, we need to distance ourselves right away from anything that could even tangentially be perceived as offensive." And now it's like we're over the hump of it, where many, many normal people who aren't even adjacent to the online world to get a call like that, or if they did, they'd be like, "Okay, and what does this have to do with what does this have to do with me?" Okay, thanks, but no thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. Okay, like. That the peak like tattletale culture, I think, is behind us. Hopefully, because that was very
next 4 years
lame. Yeah, the idea that I would like
True,
see
it was
someone
lame, but
online.
we got some good ones though. We got some good ones in that. In that.
You think Karen
Who did
culture's
we get?
dead?
Who were the good
Yeah, you know,
ones?
Diddy, Epstein.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't think we should turn a blind eye to the island people. Like,
I don't know about that.
Sometimes it's not an island. Sometimes it's just a basement. Look at Diddy,
sometimes
dude.
it's a peninsula. Sometimes, but it's usually tropical. Yeah,
Yeah,
they do
And,
love that. Those elites.
They
It's one of
usually
those
can control
stories
the
where they're
entire
like,
island.
for years they were like, these guys think a bunch of billionaires and politicians are molesting people on an island somewhere, and then we're like, here's one of the islands, and they're like, yeah, right. Like it's like no, we caught you, we knew you were doing fucked up shit, and now none of them are getting in trouble. It's like remember the Panama Papers thing from years and years ago, where they're like, dude, every rich person and every fucking actor and every politician has millions hidden here, and we're not going to investigate it. Let's move on. Did you hear that Kanye West said something ridiculous again, and then just moved on to the next thing? Speaking of which, what's he up to?
I've been.
Oh,
I don't
Kanye.
know. Yeah, I don't know where
new
he's
clothes.
where
He's just
been at.
launched a whole bunch of like his Yeezy line just came out. He's like launching $20 clothing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I thought that came out a long time ago.
No,
I don't care about his
Why is that?
clothes,
I thought
but I
that came
wanna-
out a long time ago. Is that it came out again?
I want to know if he
Oh,
has
he's
any
not
more
a
theories.
drop. And he's,
I want to know some more Kanye theories.
Everyone knows
he's
the truth
cultivating,
now, so it's not going to be interesting.
yeah. He's cultivating the ultimate nepo
There's-
baby, which is his daughter, who's going to be like. It's like, you remember when? Do you know that Jay-Z's daughter won a Grammy? Like when she was 7.
I didn't know Jay-Z had a daughter.
Yeah. Well, Jay-Z had a daughter named Blue Ivy who won a Grammy before she was 10 years old. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Whatever she did musically is definitely does not rise to the level of Grammys.
Well, do you know what
I
she
can tell you
did?
that right now. Yeah, she was on a
Do you
song.
know what she did?
She was on a song. Yeah. She
She played
Toilet
piano
Bubble.
and strings on that song. She's
That's
a
a lot.
genius, dude. There's a whole write up.
Oh, no, okay. I didn't know it. I didn't know you're the
She
Blue
didn't
Ivy
do
hive,
shit.
bro. Yeah, you're the Blue Ivy hive. I didn't know that.
Is that it's called? That's what it's called, Blue Ivy Hive. I don't
It
like
could
you
be.
knowing these things. Jay-Z's family and stuff.
What do you mean? But like Kanye, like they're just you can't be the child of.
Wait,
Kanye
let me pull
West.
up. Let me pull up. No, wait. Hold on. You're right. I can't be the child of Kanye West.
Yeah, you wouldn't like
Let me
it.
pull up questions. We got questions from the internet here.
Oh, nice.
Taylor, are you 7 3/4? Your hat?
I don't know. I don't wear a lot of hats unless I need a haircut badly. But I bet my head isn't that big. Like, I don't
I'm
like
7
my head.
5/8. I think mine goes a little bit bigger than yours.
Okay.
You're just
well,
closer to the
you're very
camera,
tall,
maybe.
and so yeah.
But I
that
do have a
would check
little
out.
head.
Oh, okay. Well, I
It's
mean,
like a little small. Next time you see me, take that in. You'll see that my head is quite small.
I'll do that. We'll do a comparison that you can post online. Just the cheek to
I was
cheek.
like, my neck is much bigger than my head.
I also like when I'm doing I'm like great ape posture mode when I game or do the show where I'm like leaning forward like this, making my head look bigger. But you know someone, and you told me this before I even met him, but someone with a giant head is Sam Hyde.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
guy has got a big head, and his glasses they accentuate how it's almost like they're a hemispheric divider.
Yeah.
On his head, and so I like. Are you gonna get any more training? from him,
Strong
you think?
bones. It's got strong bones.
It's got very strong bones.
Yeah, his skull is very hard.
Yeah.
He's it's fun. Missed messing around with that guy. Yeah, you don't always get a guy that's also big like you.
Mhm.
That wants to rough house for extended periods of time at this big age.
in your late 30s, roughhousing.
To have like some of my buddies come over, they're like a dad, and they'll like be sitting on the chair and or something. I'll come up behind them and like grab like their tits or something and start like shaking them or put them in a headlock, and they're just like playing possum. And I'm like, "What are you doing, bitch? Wake up!" They're like, "I can't, bro. My kids do this all day. I don't want to fuck around with you doing it."
I don't want to fuck around with a giant adult bullying me, because that's kind of what it is.
Yeah. No, they can throw down. These guys, they
He
can
would
throw
never
down.
get away doing
No,
that to me.
They're big. Yeah.
You do that to me.
Yeah,
you
right.
strong
Lynch
on-
is
you catch a
definitely a
two-piece.
guy who gets it, dude.
Definitely not.
He gets
dude.
it.
You catch
Yeah.
a two-piece.
Lynch
Yeah,
is
that's for-
easy. Lynch is easy.
Tell him
to
what
get
happened
with
when we were
shit
at the
to-
barbecue
to
spot. Let
engage.
him know. Tell him what happened at the
Are
barbecue
you a
spot.
brawler? Were you
Touch-
fighting
do
at a
anything.
barbecue?
Touch Lynch's lip, and right away he hit me in the head.
Like he touched your lip with his lip? Like
No, I
kissed
touched.
you, or-
I like if
He
you
went
get
like
Lynch
this.
is like a germaphobe. So anything you like,
Oh.
things you do, yeah. Like I went like that on his lip, and he like slapped me right across the head right away.
Dude, you can't tell people you're a germaphobe if you are one. Like you
Oh,
just
it's been
open
too
yourself
long.
up to
I've
all
known.
sorts
No,
of
I'm not
I've
really.
known
I'm
for
not.
too long.
I'm a recovered germaphobe. It's just like you don't touch another man.
No, but you know
with
what's
a lip.
important?
That's not what you do.
You are
That's
also.
Not, that's like if you wasn't. If I wasn't
it's not what you
religious-
do, bro. You would never, bro. You would
Yeah.
never. You couldn't even touch a man's lip like
If
I
I
can.
thought, and I had
I'd let
another
you
guy.
touch my lip.
It's you can't allow that. You can't touch a man's lip. And the only way to get punched.
Well, I was
in the
gonna
face,
say
you-
it's not just that you're a recovering germaphobe. That's false, by the way. But he is a recovering anger management.
No, just like I like it. Like if
victim,
that happened, that happened. At one
It's
point,
very
I would
short tempered.
beat
So,
you
like,
up.
if
Yeah.
you are the
You get
type
your
of
ass
person,
kicked. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, if you were the type of person that wanted to fuck with him, like how you're like you can't tell people you're a germaphobe. He is also the guy that if you did do something, he's going to attack you now.
Mhm.
I've seen him
I've
like
been in a
seen
few
him go
fights. I've been
after
in a
people.
few fights in my day. Yes. That's true.
Couple
That's why.
tussles.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
ever
so-
go to
Yeah,
anger
I've been in a
management?
few tussles. Yeah, until I lost a tooth. And
But did you go to anger management? You never did that.
no, I wasn't. It was never my fault. They were starting shit with me, bro. I was just trying to chill.
I
I
They
just
got
had
a
to finish
bunch
it.
of lip touchers up there in
Yeah, I
Canada.
had to finish
Just
it, you know,
begging
like-
you for it.
It's true. You get in trouble for being the finisher,
If you're a big guy and you
That
know,
is true.
it's funny. It's like you think you wouldn't get messed
and
with
we
as a
are
big guy,
all of us right now.
but you
We all
get-
are. So yeah, continue.
You're kind of like once you enter the space around other guys, it's like pause. It's like you think you wouldn't get fucked, but you will get fucked with. It's like now they're like, oh, this is who this guy thinks he's big. I don't think that. I just am. That's how I'm living my life. I'm just out here. You can't. I'm not trying to be that. That's just how it goes. And they're like, no, this guy thinks
Yeah, I
he's tough,
It's just
moved
how you
weird.
roll.
I moved weird and gangly in high school. So sometimes I was like a good in high school. It's grade 7 to 11. So I was like a good target for someone in grade 10 or 11 who wanted
Exactly,
to
yeah.
like fuck with someone taller than them.
Mhm.
And so like I got myself in a couple situations, but the thing is I was like a performer first and lacked
Yeah.
shame. So like
Yeah.
when someone would beef with me or things would happen, my de-escalation tactics were very extreme. Like
Yeah, you would
literally
make a joke
things
and I'm
thing-
fighting. You make a joke and I'm
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
throwing
Like
punch.
I would
That's the-
diffuse.
that's
Like
the
I'm like
difference.
I like pull my shirt off and start screaming at the top of my lungs, like spinning on the ground. Like literally some crazy. I had a lot of energy in high school, and like fights. Like people wanted to fight with me, but then I do some weird shit, and they're like, "Oh, this is kind of gay. I gotta get out
That's
of
kind
here."
of gay. This is just a big theater kid.
Yeah, literally. It's like I went Bard build, but then I in the late game put all my points. No, I went
Yeah,
Bard
Barbarian.
build, and then I went all points in Bard, like after the fact. Yeah,
That is.
it's
Yeah, I
just a
don't
little
remember.
mismatch, and I got a halfling penis.
That's okay. What I learned from Kyle is when he started playing Baldur's Gate, he sent me like, he's like, you can do anything in this game. The possibilities are endless. And then he sent me 15 screenshots of different penis customizations. And it's like, it's like, all right, well, I guess this is the extent of what you're going to share about this game. But yeah, he was like making a little halfling or some little dwarf character and then just giving him a hog. And I'm like, hell yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Except
that's
I
my
think
guy.
Kyle,
My
I think
guy
Kyle
has
had
that.
him circed. And it's like, come on, man. Nobody's circuit in the Baldur's
Yeah,
Gate
with
world.
like what, like an elven blade.
Yeah, with a mithril knife. Yeah, it's like no.
Unless it is so deep, you could make your halfling Jewish. Just like make that a part of it.
he got his own little yarmulke on. That's
There's
its own
not
race.
enough
like,
yarmulkes in games. Like,
Oh,
why
we
aren't
should
you
add
ever
that.
you can't be like a paladin and you just get like a kippa, like, and it's like a legendary yarmulke. Like, why is it? You know what I mean?
mhm.
You'd be
It could even be a
alienated-
way to like
alienated
double
many
up on
people.
headgear because you could wear it under your helmet. That'd
Yeah.
be good. I mean, there is one game
It's
in
stacked.
the South Park game. Jew is one of the classes.
Yeah, I did a Jew run.
You did a Jew.
Yeah, I did a Jew run. It's actually very funny that like it keeps coming up throughout the game that you're a Jew, and it always surprises me.
Yeah, it's like mage, warlock, fucking warrior, Jew.
Yeah,
You just
yeah, and it is if
select
you
one
you
of the
choose
things.
your skin color, and the darker you go, the harder it's the difficulty setting.
Oh,
So, like,
yeah,
the-
that was
the
the
game is-
second one. Yeah, the second
Yeah.
one I didn't love as much. The first one I loved. The second one, the combat system was very convoluted and weird. Wasn't as fun with the turn, but it was like a grid you moved on. And then I bought the third South Park game on like Xbox Premium or whatever.
There's a third one?
Yeah, and it's more like Vermintide or something, where you start out and you have to do this big long level. And I had like killed all of these kids and with snowballs and stuff and magical powers, and I like got to what must have been the end, and I thought it was just a continuous game, and then I died, and it sent me like 25 minutes back in time to restart it, and I was like, oh, uninstall. Like, this isn't that fun.
What kind of game? Is it a game where you do like runs like that? Like,
you do runs and you have to like use your custom powers, and
so
they
then,
like
and
deal
then you lose
cards.
when you die. The powers are gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
you have
it's
to,
a
like,
roguelike.
re-up.
Maybe do you play those ever? I used to hate those
Not
types of
really.
games, and I learned to love them. And I played this game called Brotato and Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Vampire Survivor is like an auto shooter. You just like, or like Binding of Isaac. You like do things and you level up and you get this cool, awesome, broken character that's so sick. And then like if you finish, maybe get like a 5% buff permanently on a skill that you choose. But then like you run it again and it's meant to continuously be run. And I used to hate them, but I think since I got my Steam Deck my perspective on a lot of games changed. Something that like it's weird if you sit at your computer, your desktop computer, and like play Max Payne 3 from 2014 because you bought it 10 years ago on a Steam summer sale, and you should beat it because you haven't played it yet. That kind of reads weird, but playing it on your couch on the Steam Deck is different.
Very casual.
Yeah, so like a game like that, I'll probably check that out. I mean, I only got around to trying the South Park games on my Steam Deck. I ended up playing them before that, and I had bought one, and then I tried it after. What are you playing these days? Are you touching Magic a lot, or?
I'm pretty much not playing Magic. My how much I play Magic the Gathering Arena depends on how many people in my life want to play with me. And so like anytime a buddy is like, we should play Magic, I'm like, oh, perfect. I have my account. I got all the decks on there I haven't touched in a long time. I'll just run through those and play with you. But the game that I've been playing most consistently over the past couple of years is Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, which is like the redid Age of Empires 2, the top-down RTS, and I love it. Like, I can't do anything. I can't do one thing ever because I get distracted. Like, if I'm reading a book, I like have something on TV, like just to have something going on at the same time. The only bit of gaming or television that I can interact with and have all my attention and like play a whole game and forget that I forgot to put music on is Age of Empires 2, because the APM is so high. Every second is like, all right, this guy's got to go do this thing, and this villager has to do this. Do I have downtime at my town center? I need to add this. Oh, I need my second building to go up to Castle Age. Oh, I need to wall right here. Oh, I overchopped in this tree line. I need to put a house. Like, just all this stuff, and it's exhausting, but it's also so satisfying to beat someone in that, because it's like, yeah, I outsmarted you. Like, I knew what you were going to do, and I countered it. But it's also
you don't
depressing
fuck with Command and Conquer or StarCraft?
Back in the day, I fucked with Command and Conquer.
Because they released all of them on Steam, I think, this past year.
I played a lot of Red Alert 2, Yuri's Revenge as a kid. Well, Red Alert 2 and Yuri's Revenge, the little expansion. I enjoyed that. I liked hiding. I liked playing as the Brits and hiding the snipers in the woods, and then like they would send soldiers forward, and it's just like pew, pew, pew. Or you played as the Russians, and like obviously it wasn't the right strategy, but I was a kid just having fun against AI or like a
You're
friend
just a
at their
stupid
house.
fucking kid.
Yeah, it's just a dumb kid, and so I was just building nothing but Tesla coils. You remember those towers that would shoot electricity, or the Tesla tanks? The electric
I like
tanks?
the ones with the Nod. What was his name? The bad guy in the Nod. Tiberium in Command and Conquer,
something like that. I know you're talking
this
about.
bald dude. He was such a funny actor. He was like the bad guy, and you always got the real cutscenes.
Was it not Yuri?
No. Shit. But Lynch in this video game was one of those like RTS where you're like God, you're controlling an army, but like they interspliced it with real cutscenes in between gameplay. Kane. This guy.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah, and he was so funny in the things. He like sold it. He like did his bit. He like meant it. I love that.
Yeah, I remember not getting the references to culture and Yuri's Revenge and Command and Conquer, Red Alert, whatever, because like it would let you have a custom character in the middle of your campaign, and it would be like, oh, this cowboy character, Flint Westwood, is pretty cool. Meanwhile, I have no idea what's being referenced at all. Like, just like, oh, this character, John Badman instead of like John Goodman, like just like ridiculous parodies that my like 7-year-old head just didn't.
What RTS
comprehend.
was? I need some shoes. Where like you would tell them to do something, and it was like where like sometimes like in StarCraft they're like, we require more pylons. Like when you're trying to do something, they don't have the money. One of them, I forget, the guy, like the worker is like, I need shoes. When you want him to do something he can't do, he's like, I need shoes.
Dude, what in Age of Empires 2, there's like 50 different civs you can pick, and they do voice lines. So like if you're playing as the Britons and you tell one of the villagers to like go, hunt a deer, he'll be like, hunter. Like he'll say hunter. But if you play as like the Hindustanis, it's like they hired me. Where like they like click a guy and he's boopin' boppin', Buddha did it. Of course, sir, I am very happy to get that deer for you. And it's like, it's just so, you like play as the Chinese and it sounds exactly like you think it would.
It's the Dr. Disrespect bit from 2015.
Yeah. Dude, Dr. Disrespect, is he, whatever happened with that guy?
He signed a new deal.
I think he, I think he does. I think he still streams.
I think he's Rumble exclusive.
Are people still mad at him?
No, you said it, bro. There's a new president, dude. You're allowed to do what you want.
You're allowed to.
Everyone's got to stop complaining.
You're allowed to message minors. I don't know. I think he probably lost a lot of supporters. But is he still huge?
He's going to Rumble.
I
think once you go to Rumble,
no, but he does
not...
YouTube also.
I know,
he does.
but
He goes on, he still does his YouTube. He gets like hundreds of thousands of views.
Damn.
Like not
I never watched his content.
Who's calling?
I didn't watch a lot. Hello?
Not concurrently though. Not 100,000. Like he's not in the like.
No, like
culture.
his video has like 350,000 views. Yeah, but like the culture of it was always like we're in tight to the culture of it. So like we have a little like Taylor said, Taylor is aware of him but never watched his streams. I never watched a full stream of his ever. I'd like tune in here and there.
I just
I'd
think
watch
once
like
you do
a
deals
couple
with like
highlights.
Rumble and places like that, it's like kind of like that might be the end. You know what I mean? A little
For
bit.
sure. But Rumble, if you're listening to us, we definitely are open to a deal, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, Rumble, if you're listening and you want to sign PKA,
You can't afford 'em.
exclusive deal, then you'll have to come to the table.
I don't know, man.
To negotiate
Taylor's got to
with us.
work. I don't know. It's crazy. He's got to do PKA for 4 hours. I think he's also got to take a job. Are you the only one on the podcast with a regular job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Kyle's
neither
not
of
clocking
them work. No.
No.
Kyle is so funny with like his DoorDash and stuff because like he'll just be hanging out with his dogs all day and then he'll be like, this fucking DoorDash person lost my Chipotle order. And I'm like, just go to the store. It's like getting groceries
You're available.
delivered. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know that when you're chill maxing like that, you're like at home, you're like, I've done that. I've been like, okay, fine, I'll go get it. And then I'll stop chilling and I'll get up and I'll drive to get my Chipotle if it were that. And then I'm like, and my gas is at a quarter tank. And then so I'll fill it up. And then I get home like 39 minutes later and I'm like,
So much.
what the fuck? What a day.
Man, this was stressful.
I gotta smoke 4 times.
You see, the one rule when you're
I don't want
Jollymaxxing,
to
you got
get
to
my
do
groceries
yourself.
delivered. Yeah. And another thing, if you're Jollymaxxing at Chipotle, lie to them at first. Say you want a single meat portion, and then once they add that first full scoop, then act as though there's a sense of inner turmoil and clarify you want double meat, because then they've already established the scoop size. This is something I've said before on our show, and so this is just something for your guys listening.
That's what the CEO said.
Never say double meat off the start, you fool. Never
That might be my favorite.
He
my
didn't say
favorite
exactly
food
that.
news.
That's the real detailed information there. But the CEO basically did say something like that. Did you know about that?
He said.
No,
you guys know they were getting so much backlash because people were killing them on the double meat. They were like filming it.
They were filming them make it and showing the double meat,
showing them what's up,
and they should have gotten killed for it.
And the CEO, who's now the CEO of Starbucks,
Luigi,
he popped up on TikTok, and he's like, come on, if they're put on, we want to serve our customers. You go, to put the meat on, you go, just give them the look. You know the look.
That's what he said. He said, "Give them the look.
Give them the look." He Brandon.
You can't look like me and give them the look. He looks look at me. You're like.
Just like snap your heels together and give them an Elon salute to show how serious you are about getting your double meat.
Yeah, there's the Kyle, the Roman salute, and then there's the Elon salute.
Yeah.
Yes, that's where you take the Roman salute and make it even more uncomfortable. It's like, oh man,
he's making a big change to the X logo pretty soon. He's going to choose out. He's going to choose a new branding that's more representation. It represents like sort of peace, as a peace and prosperity, or something in Hinduism, I believe. It was co-opted by this other group later on, but that doesn't matter. Actually, it's more about the original intent of what it.
That would be crazy if he did make this. The X logo, and he's like, "What? It's just
that'd be wild.
What? It's got those little dots in it, and it's going counterclockwise. That means it's about India, duh." And it's like, actually, that would be his salute to the H-1Bs to put the swastika up.
I got the Elon flamethrower. I bought that when it came out. I wanted a Tesla. I was like really all in on him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, man, just go to space. But it's not that like so much that like he changed really. It's just that like life was so, even then at the time it was like pre-pandemic. It's like, this billionaire just released a flamethrower. That's cool of him because we could buy a flamethrower now. And no one was like at the time in the mind state where they were like, the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah.
Why is he doing that? Why is this even a thing? How does it was like all fun and silly, and people like, yeah, we're gonna get a flamethrower. He's cool. He's going to Mars.
He's building tunnels.
Yeah.
Building tunnels.
now so many people just
now we're like, no one's going to fucking Mars, bro. No one's going to Mars.
And his cars now are off the lot. They lose half the most devalued car after you buy. If you buy a new Tesla within the next year or two, you've lost
and I'll tell you, you know what?
Immediately.
Taylor said it. Mars sucks.
Yeah, Tesla is one of the worst cars to buy after the market. What? Say again?
Whatever. Taylor said Mars sucks, and I'll be honest with you. Like from the jump, I'll tell you right now, I fucking hate Martians.
Yeah.
To anyone who goes there and lives there, goodbye. Don't come back. I don't want that fucking Martian air over here.
Jobs.
That fake ass artificially terraformed air that you got from light years away. Don't bring that shit here, you fucking Mart.
Eating potatoes.
You fucking
taking
Marty.
Vitamins, like your Matt Damon.
I don't like these fucking Martys coming back to Earth. Fuck these Martys thinking they can come back when they left. We've been good without you, fucking Marty.
We would be good without him. Anyone who wants to go live on Mars can go fucking live there. It would be a shithole. And if we were serious about finding a better place in space, we would have taken one look at Mars and been like, shithole, terrible. And then we would look at like Europa or one of those, Neptunian moons or Jupiter moons where they're like, this isn't fucking Garden of Eden, but it's better than Mars. And then we just zoot straight there. We're going to have some shithole on Mars.
We fucking carpet bomb Mars as we pass it.
Yeah, just to ruin it for if anyone ever wants to live there. They're like, oh, there could be life on Mars. And it's like, no. I got hoodwinked once by the life on Mars thing in like 2009 when I saw some like science.com article that was like, life confirmed on Mars? And then they were like, we've confirmed that maybe this could be a fossil of a microscopic organism. And it's like, all right. Well, how about you tell me when you're fucking sure? Like, tell me when you've actually figured it out. Don't give this to the editor as if you're like exciting. I frankly don't give a fuck about any life out in space that isn't at least big enough to like either be a threat or to like hold or
suck
pet,
our dicks.
to suck
They
our
don't
dicks.
care about us, though.
Something like, if
They're
they
not-
found something like the size of a cat on Europa, I'd be like, oh, what? This is insane.
Yeah.
But if they found some
We're
little
not evolved
bullshit,
enough
some
to
little
be, for them to
mitochondria.
talk to us. That's the problem. Like we haven't reached the levels that we need to in order for them to. Like they look at us like peons. They're like, "Oh, you guys are trying to build electric cars? What? Are you kidding me?
They're like cars. Cars.
Wait, so you're telling me you guys figured out nuclear fusion and then you went back to windmills? All right, guys, pack it up. We're not talking to these fucking retards on this planet. I don't understand. They don't have
Like-
nuclear power?
Like it's snowing in
They're
Florida.
like, they have their
losers.
nuclear power? Yes, they harnessed it. What do? They hurt themselves.
They hurt themselves twice and then they gave up forever. Not a very enterprising species. Let's ignore them. Yeah.
Well, okay, let's end it there. Fuck those fucking Martys.
Fuck
All
the
right.
Martys.
Taylor, my man, thanks for coming on.
That was fun.
Where can they hear you?
Just look up PKA on YouTube or Spotify or SoundCloud or iTunes.
Yeah. Make sure you check out best accent highlights of Taylor.
Those are the big ones. Check those ones out. Boost the numbers.
And we got Lynch over here. Now I guess the reigning champion of Jollymaxxing. I thought there was a contender, but it looks like it's still you, Lynch.
Can't touch me, bro.
Taylor's at the game, so
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm about to hit 5
good for you.
guys.
All right,
after
guys.
this.
Oh, enjoy.